So we are back with what should be the final part of the Minecraft configuration and setup video tutorial series for Minecraft. Here in part 5 we're going to do resource packs and shaders. We're just going to go over this briefly so that you understand how to install these and work with them. These kind of files we want to extract, and it doesn't matter what the name is in the folder or whatever. Again though, I think you should stick with a naming convention. You should have your initials, you should limit the punctuation, you should have no punctuation, and you should use like camel case, no spaces. Because what you see when you're getting into the whole world of the wonderful world of shaders and what they call resource packs or resources, which are actually textures. That's what they call it in Minecraft. The problem you're going to find is, take a look at this stuff. Let's try and find one. These are pretty tame naming, but I've seen some pretty, like this here. Look at that. And normally you can just drag this zip over there and use it, but I would simplify this name and I would extract it from this folder. So what I would do is I'd go to 7-zip and I would probably do this. It kind of depends on how they've zipped it up. It should be zipped up the same as the world saves. You should be able to open the folder and immediately come into your shaders folder. That's the format that I think Minecraft is expecting. Then I would take Continuum here if I was going to use it, and that would go into your install directory for Minecraft. Again, that is in your main Windows install. It's under users, the account name for your user account, appdata-roaming.minecraft. And if I go up here, I can go here to what they call shader packs, and that is where I would drag this. You see how we have all this 17x, uppercase, we've got some brackets here. Apparently Minecraft is okay with that, but I would simplify this. When you're sharing shaders, I would keep the name simple. I'd put your initials in front of it or something. If it's a team, I would put the team name, if it's a short enough team, in front of it. I wouldn't do all of this extra punctuation because this could cause us problems down the road. So if I open up one of these, you see that there's the shaders right there. And that's how I would recommend doing these. I've had less problems since I have extracted them and put them over here. I think they create these text files themselves. Well, Minecraft does it once you load them up. But I would just take this and move that over there, and that's how I would run it if I was going to run that particular shader pack. These ones I pretty much just extracted as they are and put over here after I checked and made sure that the stuff is correct in here. And you'll find the same thing for the resource packs. You'll get some really weird numbers, and yet again I would recommend simplicity, short team name or initials. Keep it simple, get rid of all the extra punctuation because this could cause us trouble. Again, I've extracted these over here, and then they have a format when you click on of assets folder and then some stuff in there, and that's the way it needs to be. If it has any subfolders, it may not work correctly. And so if you download a texture pack or resource pack that you like and you want to install it, I have it all organized here. You would just extract the folder over into your .minecraft resource packs directory. And if it's a shader you want to use, that would go in your shader packs, .minecraft shader packs directory. And to use the shaders, you're going to need Optifine, and I think there's some other options out there, but I just use Optifine, and I don't run Optifine through its own launcher. I use Optifine through Forge, which means that I have installed Optifine in the mods folder in my Minecraft directory, which is right here. Okay, so now let's just show you, I guess, real quick, kind of what these things are. So if we go over here to options and we go to resource packs, this is where you can select the resource pack that you would like to install. And if you find one that says that it's for an older version of Minecraft and it's in red, you can still use it. There might be missing textures and it may not work, but if I was to do this and press yes, there it is, and now I could run it if I wanted to. So you can use stuff that is not for your version of Minecraft. I'm using 1.12.2, of course. You might be using something else. I just use Vortex Fanver right now because it blends the textures together, but I've got a pile of these texture packs here. Some I haven't even tried yet. And that's where you go to change those out. And then you can have multiple in here, and you can sort them in order, and I guess it'll draw blocks in some way from each one. And then there's the Conquest pack, and I guess some of these packs can have additional textures for each block, and I think Conquest is one of those, and I'm not sure how all that works, but just be aware of that as well. I usually just run one at a time because I don't want the confusion of mixed up blocks. I haven't played with it enough to really know much about that. And then for it has to load now. What it's doing is, I think it's going through the entire game world chunk or whatever you're in, and it's putting the texture you've selected on there or taking it off. In the Vortex case, I believe you get a sky with it, halfway decent sky and a round sun, and that's what I like. I like. That's the reason why I like it. It's another reason why I use it. So it'll do that too, and it just takes a minute or two. You can see the loading icon here. We'll wait for it to load, and then we'll show you really quick the shaders. Now there's a lot of settings on the shaders, and I don't know much of any of them. And I have a very low end as far as graphically a computer. I have an integrated video card, so I can't do much. So I can't show you anything more than where they are. But once you have the shaders in the shader packs folder, you have Optifine. This button I think shows up once you have Optifine in. You click on that, and now you have a list of the various shaders that you can pick. And you click on one, it takes a while for it to load, and you click done, and you go in and you see what it's done to your game. I use Soldier's Enhanced Default Redone, and I have anti-aliasing off and all of these things. And then there's more settings, there's shader options, and there's all this stuff. And you'll have to spend a long time figuring out the capabilities of your video card and what all of the options of these that you happen to want. I've tried to keep one that I like the shadow quality in the Solders, and it doesn't make my computer run too slow, so I just stick with it. I'm going to press done. It shouldn't load because I didn't load anything or click on anything. And that pretty much covers shaders, and I think that wraps up this series. I reserve the right to add more parts if need be. If you've enjoyed this series or want to continue to support my work, comment, like, subscribe, give me some feedback, and consider supporting me through Patreon. There'll be a link in the details below. Should be a link to all these programs and the various videos that cover them. I hope this has helped you get everything set up and working in your Minecraft install. For future video tutorials, I will be building on the foundation of this, because this is my setup. So this is what I would do. And if you're following along with me, you might want to know what shader I'm using, what resource pack I'm using, what settings I've used. Now, you might want to use WorldEdit along with me, and you'll need to have all of this stuff set up. And now, hopefully, you're on the same page as I am, so any future videos that I do and show you how to build stuff, you'll be able to follow along and you won't have any problems. That's kind of the intention of this series, is to kind of make sure we're all on the same page, show you how I'm set up, and if you have a different setup, then you'll be able to figure out how that correlates to your particular setup, and then you can set your thing up in the equivalent fashion that would work with what I'm doing. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next series.